That's a great way to count. Just skip 2. All right. Good evening. Welcome back. It's been a while since we last all got together, but here we are. And I forgot how to do this, but it's perfectly fine because I think I remember what we were doing last. Whereabouts you guys maybe help me out with it. But last we had left off, the group had gotten word of movement of Sidna, the red dragon, Sidna, the ember spark, making her way across the southern provinces towards Alpont, heading to the place that had basically raised the alarm, sent the spell, the sending spell, to you to alert you. You had found the land razed, burned, and at risk of becoming completely engulfed in fire. You had fought off the flames and continued to pursue the trail of fiery destruction left in the wake of this red dragon on the way to Alpont, where you had discovered the small town itself still standing and unharmed. Evidently, the dragon had made a stop there, made its demands known, and left. You had reconvened with Captain Neil of the Honored Mark, where he confirmed the story. The dragon had demanded payment in gold, treasure, as well as livestock in 1 week's time, or Alpont would say suffer the same fate as the multitude of farms and homes that she had reduced to ash along the way. The general populace, in a varied state of, well, varying from discomfort to outright panic, was managed to be quelled for the time being. Each of you have begun preparations in one way or another, mostly leading towards the idea of trapping this creature, at least rendering it immobile. Drand, you, after convening with your expert trap maker kobolds, had a design put into the Heartforged clergy that is in the process of being complete, one that will be finished before the week's end. Era, having studied a multitude of spells that might assist in such an endeavor, you learned the Glyph of Warding spell, a spell just as potent and powerful as, I suppose, the creativity of the user and the implication of it. And you also have the backing of the council, the lords and the people. Duke Horacio Sterling says that if it will bring an end to this monster, basically this dragon, they have allocated funds to either placate, to essentially buying off the creature to bide time. And should you wish to use some of these funds, some of this treasures, some of this potential hoard to hide a trap or some of your other machinations in, that's entirely up to you. However, is there anything that anyone wants to add or ask before we continue? Because I'm sure I didn't hit everything.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I'm just going off of memory, so I'm pretty sure I didn't. I don't know.
think that was everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to her sister. That happened.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
All right. We pick up the morning after you had arrived, following the dragon to Alpont. You had stayed at the inn tavern there. The roof itself had maintained some damage, holes in it from what you had. Remember, the dragon landed there to make its declaration and demands known. You'll wake up in the morning to come down and see Captain Neil at one of the tables in the tavern. It looks like he's putting some finishing touches on a letter. You can see that around him are perhaps other lieutenants under him, and just awaiting orders, essentially. He finishes penning a letter, closes it, and seals it with a wax seal and stamp, handing out three seemingly identical letters to three different members of the Honored Mark, instructing them to ride to various points: Vasselholm, Crestfield, Rushburn, and requesting aid, any available people, to make haste to Alpont to essentially begin a sweeping search and effort to find survivors along the path that the dragon had taken, as well as to get people from the farms along that path out before the dragon makes its next visit, to avoid a similar loss as what had transpired the night before. One of the soldiers takes the letter and, Captain, there must be hundreds of farms, hundreds of families out there. How are we going to possibly do this? Just ride. We have to. All the more reason to make haste to get this started as soon as possible. You all go. I have matters to attend to here in Alpont. And the three soldiers exit the tavern, and within a few moments you hear the sound of hoof beats and the horses departing into the distance. Neil is sitting at a table with a half-eaten breakfast in front of him, just kind of staring off into the distance, lost in thought. Looks around, kind of senses the presence of others, and looks back to see you, whoever you decides to be. Morning.
It is.
I suppose. Well, it's a new one, anyway. New challenges. We have a week to get as many people out of here as possible. At least for a while. I feel like it's safest to have Alpont as evacuated as possible, just in case the worst comes to pass.
If there are any who um, are not able to travel, I could send people every day to uh, a different town, either Vasselholm or
Vasselholm and Edgecliff Crestfield, none are too arduous a journey from here. I'm more concerned with those who make their living on the farmlands miles and miles off the beaten path. Besides, we can handle moving the citizens here to a safer place. We have an entire week to do so. I believe it is you all who are tasked with quite a more difficult challenge. Something that probably more well deserving of your time and effort.
yeah, I'm gonna finish what I started.
I appreciate the help, though. You all always seem, at least from what I have seen, so willing to help. But leave this in my hands. If you are unable to defeat that dragon, well, it doesn't matter where we move him. Besides, it's only a temporary measure. Once you do what it is you do, and once the beast is slain, everyone will be able to come back in and continue to rebuild their lives after Corvath, and everything will be fine. I am sure of it.
Undoubtedly.
Elborn's going to do like an anime pose with like a thumbs up and a stupid grin. Even though she doesn't feel that way, she's still going to do it, you know? Like, yeah.
Unless there's. I mean, certainly there is a matter of where we will set up. I don't believe the dragon specified a location, so perhaps we could use that to an advantage. I'm not sure what ideas, plans you have in mind for confronting this creature, but if you can choose the terrain, choose where and how to confront the dragon, that could be advantageous. Otherwise, I do believe that the gold and treasure the dragon demanded will be being carted here from Vasselholm under heavy guard. Is that alright, or do you have any other needs or uses of the treasure?
No, it won't be able to make much use of it for long, anyways.
I don't know what it is you are planning on doing, but if you require to tamper with the chests and crates that are being brought, can you do that here? Or will you need it taken somewhere else?
I mean, it'd probably be safer to do it somewhere else, but it'll be generally around here. I don't know if we would want to set that up in the city itself. I would still like to keep most of the city itself good condition, and I can't guarantee that with this thing, obviously.
Well, I'm sure if you went there, started to head to Vasselholm now, you could probably intercept it before it even made its way out. You could manage to find the Duke and the other council members.
Oh, I mean, it can be. I misunderstood. It can be delivered here, and then we can do whatever we need to with it afterwards.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
well, like I mentioned with people, we could also move the treasure that way so it's safer. Just from point A to point B. Sort
yes,
of.
I was hoping that you would choose the location well outside of Alpont. However, still, the dragon will be coming to this general area, expecting something in, I suppose, anywhere from 6 to 7 days from now. But if that is the case, I will, when it arrives, I'll ensure that the treasure is kept in a safe location under guard until you come to move it to wherever we intend to lure the dragon.
That'll be the plan.
So, with that, Neil gets up and begins his work within the town of Alpont, organizing carts, horses, carriages, gathering whatever, acquiring, requisiting whatever foodstuffs they can manage to begin to prepare to evacuate as many people as they can, heading towards eventually Vasselholm and northward as well towards Edgecliff and Crestfield. The four of you are left to do whatever it is you need or want to do. So, you could obviously leave Alpont if there's nothing you need to do here. Go back to either Vasselholm, where at least Durand, there will be something for you to, an order that you have to pick up eventually.
Yeah.
If there's anything for you guys to do in Ambervale, in Alpont, you can still, scope out whatever terrain area that you want to confront the dragon on, where you would want the treasure and the trap to be placed. Essentially, you can begin to prep that area. You can go over your plan, if there is one.
Off, I guess out of character. I don't quite remember what our plan was exactly. I know we were trying to trap the dragon, using like certain abilities that I think between Eleborn and I as well. Maybe I assume that's what he was referring to when he was talking about the gold, but I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. So let's see. Just things that you guys have at your disposal. There are going to be the mithril expanding band ball thing that Durand had commissioned, basically based on the designs of his kobolds. You have the sticky, sappy stuff as well. However much of that.
Oh yeah.
That's how to do. And then you have your Glyph of Warding era, which you could potentially put onto a chest or a box or onto the treasure, like with a proximity type thing. And essentially, you could put any spell that you can cast into it. So, like, if you want to like hide a fireball in it, you would need to cast that at third level with a third level slot, and then a fireball as well with a third level slot. And you could say, whenever something or whenever the dragon gets within however many feet of this thing, the fireball goes up. Obviously, you probably wouldn't choose a fireball against a red dragon, but that's
No, I wouldn't.
that's how that would work. In combination with things that you have the Ring of Spell Storing, which could hold up to a 5th level spell. So if there was like a 5th or lower level spell that either Duran's from the Paladin list or Elevorn from her Druid list would make sense or would be an interesting thing to include, then you could do that. You could do things in combination. Like you could put a fireball thing underneath a whole bunch of barrel of goop stuff so that the goop explodes outward. Who knows? You have all you have plenty of possibilities, as many possibilities as you guys have spells between you for a glyph of warding trap.
Too many options.
Yeah, I think if I recall, we talked maybe, or at least my idea was to kind of like incapacitate it in a way where it wouldn't be able to use its wings. So maybe it would be a good idea to lodge him in a way, maybe. I don't know.
That's kind of where the mithril thingy would come in. So it would trap it, so it couldn't expand the wings, and then we would somehow disable the wings even more, because eventually it probably will break
Rip 'em
out.
off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's rip them. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
gonna be a task.
Having like layers of things, like not like putting all your eggs in one basket, really. Like the whole thing was to disable its ability to fly, but you weren't gonna go like, this is its flight disable thing, and then nothing else is for, like, you're basically stacking.
Oh
off.
yeah.
Like, just
Well,
in
now
case this
what?
doesn't work, we have that. Because that doesn't work, we have what? Who knows? But you're like basically multiple. That's what you guys were planning, at least from my knowledge. You guys are in control of this, so.
I do have a 2nd level spell, which is Earthbind, which means that I can't fly, but it doesn't fall out of the sky.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I have a spell called Earthbind, but it doesn't, like, it just prevents them from flying. Like, they would have to land, but they would just land safely. But
That's pretty nifty.
it's only 2nd level, so, I mean...
Oh.
Well,
It also
that means
has-
I can cast it more times.
Yeah, true. But it also just has a big old nope of what, like, once
many
a turn or something, or it could just be
I
like,
don't
hey,
know how often the nope is.
hey,
so.
solemn judgment.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It chooses not to.
Yeah, it's just
So that's Earthbind. I just put it into the Discord chat thing.
And then I also have my my glorious ball. If we want to ball them up, or there's another spell.
the
Holy
ball
shit,
is
what's it called?
interesting too.
Oh my god,
Can it
called?
leave in the ball?
polymorph. Could we polymorph the dragon?
It can
Maybe.
nope poly.
It decided
You guys
not
just
to accept
everything. So
the
you could,
polymorph.
yes, you could.
I mean, polymorphing is a possibility if we just hit it with enough spells, so it wouldn't have those nopes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
You just burning through the nopes, like getting it to use its nopes thing shouldn't be like a damn it that's so cheap. It should, like, that's part of it, is getting
Yeah,
it to
it's
use
part of
those
planning.
things.
Uh-huh. You're baiting him. You're baiting
Well,
him.
that's why I was saying, like, I have a 2nd level thing that it'll probably want to
true.
know.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Mm.
It'll
So
be
if
like,
I'm just
nah,
like
I want
Earthbind every turn, and it's like, nope, you guys
Yeah.
are like polymorph, haha.
sucker. Now
Okay,
you're
so
chicken.
what's the plan? What's the kill shot? Is it just, okay, once we get them, it's so, because right now it's like we got basically you guys are
Wait.
figuring out
Hold on,
how
hold
to
on, hold on,
fish
hold
up
on, hold on.
a shark, right?
Do
You're
we
like,
do
this
we
is how we fish up a shark, and now you've got a shark on the deck in front of you, and you're like, okay, now what?
We
It's
blow
a
it
red
up.
dragon.
We blow it up. Yes.
I was, man.
We stack like a
why is it gotta be a
zillion
red
of
dragon?
gunpowder kegs or something on it and blow it up.
What kind
just-
of damage would that do, you think?
What do you mean? What kind of damage it do? It's
Gun
an
damage?
explosion. It's
Gun
Guns.
damage.
Gun
it's
damage.
gunpowder. It's gonna explode.
Oh,
Fire.
fire.
Yeah, it's
fire.
It's
Nah, I just had a really cool
Well,
idea
she
too,
said
because it's a
fire or
freaking
Bludgeoning?
bludgeoning.
Piercing?
Gunpowder doesn't bludgeon.
I mean,
A bullet pierces you, though.
True.
we can put like gunpowder and something else that pierces
Where are
it
you
or
getting
something.
gunpowder from, Cele?
Also
don't
true.
know.
We don't have.
That's not my
gunpowder.
problem.
Oh, it's my problem. Make it in the world. Go on, Zen.
Come on,
Get
chop chop.
to it.
I had a cool idea, but it doesn't matter because it's a freaking red dragon. I was like, because
Oh.
like the mithril obviously can be heated, right? And then
Heat metal
there's
with
the
the
heat
bands on it.
metal. Yeah,
would've been
but it
cool.
doesn't
Guys,
fucking man.
We just talk to the dragon and tell them to stop. Easy.
I tried that.
Yeah, sure. It immediately stops right.
It's like, here's the thing.
Nice
Sometimes
try.
it's like you guys have this plans. You have like multiple plans to get the dragon to not fly away. That's basically what I'm hearing now. So, assuming that plan works, now you've got a red dragon that can't fly, and that's not done. We win now, right? You still.
I mean,
Ride the
basically,
dragon.
look, the idea is that I always hit it and it can never get away.
A way that maybe I could help you do that is with watery sphere. If you come out of the sphere to attack it and then go back into it, you can't be barbecued.
What are we
But
seeing?
also, you could, I don't know how restricting it is, so it
To
might
get out of the
limit-
watery sphere, isn't that like a check on itself?
I don't know. What if it's not hostile? Or, I mean, a wall of water or something might work too. I don't think I have like an ice wall. I have ice storm.
Then there's a point. Like I can turtle up, and tank, but that doesn't mean it dies.
Absorb elements. That's a spell. It's a first level spell.
What's that do?
I think it lets you like absorb damage of
Elements? Oh, okay, got it.
I don't remember. I have to look it up. I'm sorry.
So you're just reading spells.
Ingenious.
And you don't...
You know, more often than not, you're not wrong. It probably does do exactly just that.
Well, I couldn't remember the exact wording.
Resistance to a triggering damage type until the start of your next turn.
Biscuits.
Also, the first time you hit with a melee attack on your next turn, the target takes an extra d6 of the triggering type and the spell ends. So it gives you 1 turn of resistance to damage, and that's basically it.
Yeah, I can. If I have double resistance, does that make me immune?
Nope. Where are you getting double resistance from anyway? Anyways, let's
The
not
shield
get
and
too-
protection from energy.
I don't even know if that works. Does double resist?
Double.
quarter-
I mean, I shot my shot. I don't think it really is because D&D doesn't usually do like, oh, let me just double stack buffs and it'll do something.
Yeah.
I have something, I think. Oh, that. Let me look it up before
If I silence it, can it still use its breath?
Yeah, it just doesn't make any noise.
Perfect. I buff
I don't
it
know,
so that we
maybe
can't hear it
it's a-
coming.
Is a dragon's breath a spell?
No. That'd be like if my breath weapon would be stopped off of silence as well.
Yeah. Watch out what precedents you set.
I was thinking maybe stone skin might be good, but it's not. I mean, it is good, but it's not what we would need. Because it's the target has resistance, non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. So, yeah. Well, I mean, if the dragon's trying to bite you, though.
But that's all for that thing. What are we talking about for
We
like
need
glyph
damage.
of warding?
Give me damage.
What's the glyph of warding spell first off? Because you guys did pretty well in a fight with it that you weren't planning for, right?
That was
Didn't
based
go
off of
I
one.
was crispy fried
Yeah,
French
Era
fries.
especially. Era did great.
Oh my god.
That was also arguably that fight was kind of at an advantage, and maybe even more than an advantage than
I
we
mean,
have at the
it was
moment.
again an advantage that you made, right?
Yes.
But this is if that was like at an advantage, then this should, if with the right planning and not absolutely horrible in your favor, dice rolls should be more in your.
That's what I'm trying to. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I'm gonna die.
The other thing is, obviously, you can't just have an entire army waiting for the dragon, because it probably won't land in that case. So
Yeah. No,
you want
I
it to
didn't
be a
think of
trap,
that.
but you also can't give away the fact that it's a trap. So you can't be too obvious with it. So the more that you change, the more that you affect, the more that you set stuff up might lead to a better. Basically, it's risk reward, right? The more that you alter and change, the more beneficial it could be, as long as the dragon doesn't notice it.
I think that an investiture would be really good for Durand. I'm not sure which one, though.
Who to what?
Which would mean you'd have to use the ring, though. Because it gets, like, self-alarm.
Investitures are 6th level.
Yeah, they're big.
Oh, the ring wouldn't work.
can't-
It's up to 5. I don't know what
Well, then-
investiture is. Out of sight, out of mind.
Investiture on yourself would be good. Yeah, is that what you're saying? Just solo investiture? Because you can only target yourself with it, right?
Yeah.
I throw tankiness to the wind and I become the damage.
I become the damage. Oh dear.
I could.
Two-handed.
Yeah, I literally could.
DPS paladin.
Yeah. Even crazier with the crown when you think of everything. Crusader's mantle, elemental weapon, enlarge, like you name it. Like
Oh jeez, you just stack them all.
everything that makes me do extra damage, I can.
Jeez. I mean, that would be interesting to see.
It's not the play.
Okay. But anyways. Other than sort of what we are talking about and planning, is there anything else that you guys want to do throughout the rest of the week?
Potions.
Potions. What kind of potions?
Well, probably just making some regular healing potions of some kind to hand out to everybody. Probably wouldn't be bad. I'm not sure how long it might take, though. So that might be more of a go purchase thing.
You could.
But also,
You can make the.
Hmm?
You could make the potions in that much time.
But
So,
I was
like, if you're talking about regular healing potions, like the base, healing potion, right? You're not talking about any of the souped up versions. You're talking about just the 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah.
Those I'd say with your amount, you could make those in 2-3 days.
Well, I was also talking to Travian and trying to make some kind of either something to treat fire wounds or I don't know. But then all
Yeah,
this
the
other stuff.
salve I think I said to for the
Or maybe prevent fire damage.
salve and potions. Yep. Okay. So that's what Elevorn is doing.
I'd like to study that one spell book like for a day or two. I don't know how big it is. So
Which one?
the spell book that I gave to Isaiah.
Oh, you want to study it?
Yeah, I wanna like actually spend time. I wanna see if I can like find something on it that we could possibly use.
Bonding
Okay.
experience.
Okay,
Alright.
so there's another spell?
There's a what?
There's another spell, but it's a little risky. Need to
What is it?
conjure an elemental.
Sure, let's do it.
You didn't even hear the risky part yet.
I know.
Sign me up.
Just do it.
I mean, it's a dragon. What's it's a risk itself.
Well, no, because then we'd be fighting a dragon and an elemental. You know, it would be decidedly worse. If I happen to lose concentration on the spell, because it doesn't just go away. It's, you know.
Yeah, losing concentration on it is losing control of the elemental. Alright. Durand, Era. I would say Durand, you're going to be picking up your wing haver stopper. Anything else?
It might be good if I pick up some potions at least to have on hand, because sometimes I'd be dying.
Well, yeah, but Elevorn's making some.
Okay. I already went over whatever scrolls or magic stuff I can get.
You could buy more scrolls, yeah.
You want to pay for me?
Depends on how many you're buying.
Oh, sure. I'm thinking more of trapping stuff, but I'm also trying to think of like stuff that can help me out of an oopsie almost.
What do you mean by that?
In case turn after turn after turn, she's taking fire breath damage and falling to the ground.
What could I'm saying? What thing?
I have spells that can get me out. I just have to bring them, and I wasn't prepared at that time. But
We were just out of spell slots. We had already gone through like 2 or 3 combats before we fought that dragon. Which is now making me take back the we fought that dragon at an advantage idea.
That's true. You weren't even supposed to fight the dragon.
Oh yeah, true. I was like, do I fight the dragon? Do we
You
not
guys,
fight the dragon?
you guys
She's
forced
fighting the
that on
dragon.
me. Like, okay, so I would like an investigation check from Netadian and an herbalism kit check from Elevorn. So wisdom plus proficiency.
16.
Okay. So, Netadian, in the time that you're looking through this spell book, some of the more advanced, more complex incantations do slip your understanding. But you are able to identify within the book here spells for slow, magic circle, feign death, and animate dead. Again, we're talking about Michelle's spellbook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have that roll yet, Eleven?
Oh, was it 21?
21? Alright. Uh, how many healing potions were you trying to make?
At least 4?
How many healing potions were you trying to make?
Probably closer to 8.
Do you want 8?
Yes.
Okay. So that roll, 21. So the material cost required, the roll that you had, and the abilities to sort of save, or to use the materials that you have efficiently. The cost of this of 8 potions, the materials for that would be 200 gold. Is that all right?
Okay.
Is that all right? I'm just saying, it's 25 gold in materials per potion. So
I can put the
if
money
that's
for
what
it.
you want.
I can put money for it.
Well, you wouldn't take my money for
It would
the
only
other
make
thing.
sense. That doesn't. For all you know, I got that for free. Hmm?
So you're buying the materials for 8 potions?
Yeah?
Oh, you're putting all the money towards it, Durand?
Yeah, I can.
Alright. Well, go ahead and mark off 200 gold then. And after about half a week, 3 days worth of work, Elevorn, with these potions, the efficiency with which you've mixed and concocted them, you come out the other end with 14 healing potions.
Other confusion? Okay.
Well, you've managed to just be efficient with it, understanding exactly how to mix the potions, how many herbs are absolutely required, minimizing the losses in throughout the different processes of synthesizing potions. You're able to get enough extra stuff to make a few more. And at the end of all said and done, that's what 21 will get you, I suppose.
Okay, so then I would make sure everybody has potions. As many as they want.
Well, not as many as they want. You don't have infinite potions, but yeah.
Well, I have 14, so you can have as many as the 14. Look, I don't know. How many does Arrow want to go find Arrow?
Oh, I've only ever carried one on me, so maybe like
2.
3, because I die a lot, or
You know,
I am
maybe you should have
Fair,
like
the
4.
potions that are probably gonna not be used by the one holding them.
Okay, well then.
These
I'll
these are
I
like
choose you.
potions that will be used by other people. Maybe, who knows? If the best thing you can do on your turn is heal yourself for 2d4 plus 2, but potions are good because they can get people back up from unconscious. But if one is unconscious, they cannot drink a potion themselves.
Then 2, so I can bring back somebody else in case they need the glup glup.
Blup, blup.
Well, I mean, if I have 3, Durand has 3, and Neridion has 3, we all have 1 for everybody else.
I mean,
And
I
then
probably need the least, to be honest.
I don't know how many. How many is that left?
I'm not sure if this is
Okey-doke.
Elevorn or Nemo asking.
It
honestly.
was. It was just roleplay. Sorry. I was
It's
just
okay.
trying to roleplay. It's all good.
Dosey
So,
dose.
yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So that way you would have extra. You know, if you needed to get more than one of us up for whatever reason, and then you would have, 2 besides that you could consume, right?
Yeah.
Because there might be other people fighting alongside us too. So if there's other people who need potions as well, I mean, that's an option as well.
Well, hopefully not. I would hope it would just be us. If anybody can get around the quickest, it would be you and Neri, which you guys should probably have the most then.
I'll take whatever is, whatever amount you want to give me.
Okay, so Duran gets 3, I have 3, Era has 4, and Neridion has 4. Does that add up?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Additionally, Celeborn, working with Brennan from the apothecary in Ambervale, you had, I believe, Gondorman requested something to aid with, like you said, either healing burn wounds or attempting to prevent them. And through his work, as well as you stopping in and assisting with this alongside your work on the healing potions, you have 3 doses, 3 applications of a fire resist salve, which essentially, once applied, is a one-time resistance to the next instance of fire damage, essentially.
Cool.
It does take a minute to apply because it's like a sort of like a salve like jelly that is supposed to be applied topically, like a sunscreen basically.
Strange breach episode.
Where a dragon is attempting to murder you. Yeah.
Alright, guys, did everyone bring your salves?
Everyone bring your else. Oh no,
I
I'm
got-
gonna turn into a tomato.
I'll help anyone with their backs.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
I have somebody else to do that.
Does Durand even need sunscreen? Like, he's a lizard, right? Isn't his body temperature regulated by?
Yeah. Shouldn't he be sunbathing every now and
Hot
then?
in 4K.
I should, actually. Or warm-blooded.
You are. I know you're warm-blooded.
Warm-blooded.
But our dragon's warm-blooded. Maybe you can cover them with sunscreen and have them freeze to death.
True. The red dragon.
We killed a red dragon with sunscreen, and instantly any credibility of this campaign goes down the toilet.
So I don't know where everybody else is. So
Well, obviously you're in Ambervale. Elavon had to go back to Ambervale for her potion making.
yeah, but if everybody is like pretty much spread, even if they are in Ambival, but everybody is spread, I guess. So I'll use the bracelet, and because I've been trying to study the book or look at the spells, and so I don't know you guys, but I've been trying to. I don't really know much about spells, as you know, guys, but I've been trying to study. I've been trying to read this stupid book, and I found some spells, and I don't know, maybe this one spell would be useful for us, though I don't. It's this spell called Slow. Does any of you know it? Or do I need to read it from this book?
I'm familiar.
Have an idea about slow.
You're familiar.
You sound like you're. Are you under that spell? Would it affect the speech? Anyways, well, at least you guys, if you're familiar with it, you think we could somehow use it against the dragon?
Oh yeah, it could be handy. No telling quite how much until we throw it at it, but
yeah, I guess you're right about that. And But then there's of course the question that can any of you do you have it? Can you use it, or should we try to find somebody who can and maybe put it on the ring, or have the person there, or what?
It all depends on, I suppose, what we're trying to do with it, but yeah, to my knowledge, wizards are able to use it as well as sorcerers? Question mark.
I have another means of applying it, but yes. Basically.
Oh,
I guess if it is arcane in nature in the way that you're speaking of it, then the only one among us that can probably use it would be Era.
I mean, I just
Efficiently.
said that there's the ring. Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, can you?
You have what, the scroll, right? For slow?
No, there's no scroll on me. I just I have a spell book, so I've been trying to read it sometimes, but it's mostly been Isaiah has been reading it mostly.
I'll roll my eyes, but I understand.
Well, I mean, if you ask him nicely, maybe he will allow you to borrow it so you can read it also.
Well, if you have it, wait, I mean, I could just read from it, but I mean, I can't even copy it into my spell book without extra stuff.
Speaking of Netadion, as you noticed, you noticed that there are some things in the spellbook that were just very complicated. Two, you noticed that there were like odd like skips, blank pages in between spells, which essentially are places where Isaiah had used those pages as a scroll and had copied them into his own spellbook, basically. So there might have been more magic in there that's not at the moment.
Oh, rude. He has been stealing pages. No, it's fine.
Respectable, honestly.
You gave him the book.
I know. I didn't expect him to destroy it.
Well, not destroy. It's not.
fine.
It's like
It's
like
fine.
if you,
Oh, no, it's fine.
that's
It's
how it
fine.
works.
Everything is fine. I gave the book. It's
That's how it works. I've established
Yeah.
before that a spell book, you can use it like if you find a spell book, you can use the pages like a spell scroll. And if you use a spell scroll to cast a spell, the scroll is destroyed. If you use a spell scroll to copy the spell into your own spellbook as a wizard, the scroll is destroyed in that way as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's all fine.
It's best to copy it and then imbue it to say, we can keep it technically.
Well, like I said, if you want to read this book, maybe, since I gave it to Isaiah, you want to ask him if he allows you to, check it out before he does this to all the pages. But yeah. So if we get this spell onto my ring or something, maybe we can try to use it. Or whoever wants to try to use the ring.
I mean, I guess I can ask him, but you could also ask him to imbue it in the meantime. The ring, I mean.
That is true. I guess the spell doesn't disappear from the ring unless you use it, of course, but...
Okay. It's time. Durand, your custom strange order that you had placed with the Heartforged clergy in Vasselholm is finished, and you pick up this contraption designed by kobolds, forged by dwarves, paid for by you. There you go.
Beautiful. How big is it?
Well, it's all there.
But how big is it?
It's all there. When you go back and you grab and you get it, it fits in your hand.
Oh shit.
What's up? It's not that large.
Okay. Cool.
Only a few inches in diameter. It's forged of mithril, which is in itself a lightweight metal, so it actually weighs less than a pound, and it's nothing like what you had imagined. It seems well more refined than the sort of crude strips of bark and wood that the kobolds had constructed theirs out of. And it's obviously a dwarven take on the design that you had given to them, and as such seems a lot more efficient, compact, a sleeker design. Definitely a step above what your kobolds had been using to trap birds.
Okay. Very cool. I like it. Come in handy. I'm sure.
Maybe. If it doesn't break.
Well, I was just reading it, and I was like, as long as we force it to use its saving throw.
The
Well,
thing
can it
about
go
it
get a
is, it's
saving
not a
throw?
saving throw. It's a strength check to break out, as long as he hits with it. So it's not even a saving throw.
So after a
Oh, it's a
polymorph,
strength
is
check.
when we have to do it.
Yeah, it's a check, not a saving throw. Which may or may not be able to be noped. Who knows? I knows.
Check.
Yeah, because checks are different from saving throws, you know.
I mean, bestow curse is a thing. Although it's a wisdom saving throw. How wise are dragons?
How wise are dragons really? Why are you trying to generalize dragons? They're all different, just like people. You can have wise dragons, you can have not so wise dragons. Anyways.
Oh wait, what if we put a curse on the treasure
Mm-hmm.
that makes
That does
it
what?
it gives it a the first effect
Let me look up
gives it a
bestow curse.
disadvantage on ability score or check
Ah.
and make it strength. Then we hit it with it, almost not guaranteeing it, but increasing the likelihood that we won't break out of it, and then
Mm-hmm.
damage while avoiding the front.
That's a possibility.
Or
So
some
bestow
people can be
curse, that's
focused on.
under- What's that from?
That's oath.
And that's an oath spell? Okay.
Yeah, that's oath stuff.
Doesn't Nerdion have a hex?
That too. What does better? I think you can't avoid hex, right?
I don't think so.
That's
Right?
even better
Is that
then.
how it works? And just specify strength, right?
It's a curse. Yeah, so
Yeah, no, it's not even a check. Yeah, hex just happens.
yeah, it just happens. Yeah.
And it's an ability check. so you could choose strength. Finally, that part of Hex.
Finally useful something.
I remember us having
So
discussion
yeah,
about
Hex
how it
just
wasn't
happens. Bestow Curse, like, you give them the option to either make the Wisdom saving throw or nope it, right? Depending on if they feel like it's nope worthy. Hex is unnopeable.
Yeah, so that's even better then. We glyph hex onto the treasure. Dragon then has disadvantage on strength, and then we hit him with the trap. We can split ourselves between doing damage and then preparing for if it still manages to break out of the trap, maybe by using the ooze.
So you want to put the hex on the warding glyph.
Yeah.
How does
That
that work if it's concentration?
It would have to be. That's a good question. Let me see what Glyph of Warding says. If it's specified.
I mean, it's not gonna be an issue for me to use it because it's a bonus action, and
Yeah.
but I'm still curious about that, how it works with that glyph.
Here's the thing: you don't even, like she said, you don't even need to put that into the trap because
True,
could just cast
she
it,
could just cast it. So I suppose we
Well-
can think of something else to put onto the glyph.
If we could
Or
find
That, and it would require Era to have the ring because she can't cast Hex. And to put it into the glyph, either she needs to put Glyph of Warding into the ring and Neridian have it, or Era needs to have the ring and have Hex in it. Basically, the same
I
person
see.
who's casting the glyph has to cast the spell that goes into the glyph.
Well, Neri can stay hidden more than likely from the dragon, so that shouldn't be an issue.
As well.
I can just stand next to the dragon and it
He won't even
me.
see you.
Oh my
Speaking of
goodness.
that, a conversation that happens between Neridian and Isaiah when you go asking about a spell to put into the ring. You're talking about the next 3 days, 3 or so days until the dragon is going back to Alpont. Its demands and what you guys are planning to do to counteract it. And Isaiah is contemplating over the slow spell and putting that into the ring, and he says, well, dear, there's another option, depending on how exactly the four of you planned to maintain yourselves hidden from the dragon. Have you thought of... Because there is something I could do to help you in that regard, if it's not something you've put thought to yet.
I haven't really, but I'm not fully sure what the others have thought of, but I thought you did mention, didn't you, at one point about something?
Probably, and it would work with that ring of yours. But seeing as I believe the lands around Alpont are, generally speaking, quite open, not many places to hide. Especially if you're going further away from the town itself. If the beast demanded livestock, there's a spell that could make the four of you seem as livestock. Essentially hiding in plain sight.
Is it that the same spell that you used on Kina?
It is, yes. That's that exactly. The same one I used on all of us as well.
Yeah, it could work. Hopefully it wouldn't try to immediately burn and eat us if we're livestock.
Hopefully not. That, I suppose, is... It is a possibility, isn't it? Maybe not then.
But I mean, it is a good
Creatures
idea.
that are just hanging around, like rabbits or possums or something that are just in the area, perhaps around in the.
Just something smaller that it wouldn't interest it enough.
Well, if that is, I could put the spell in the ring, and you could make that decision when the time comes, I suppose. If that is something you want. Otherwise, I do have the slow spell in my book, and I could put that as well as something smaller in there for you as well. But I suppose it depends on whether or not the others have any ideas of how to maintain hidden until it is time for your ambush.
I suppose I could ask them. I mean, turning into wildlife isn't a bad idea in general, but an elephant can do it on herself, just, but then there's the rest of us. And we don't want to polymorph or anything because that is a bit more troublesome. So, I'm gonna use the bracelet again, and I hope I'm not interrupting anybody's important businesses too much, but I do have the option to take something that would allow us to be, more hidden. I mean, I'm sure Isaiah has mentioned it to you guys also, but the same spell that he used on Kina. Should I
Right.
take that or the slow one?
The rest of you guys are downstairs. You're all in the house right now.
Oh.
It's okay.
I'm too lazy to go down, okay? This is like texting from another room.
From the other side of the couch.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I don't have to use the bracelet. I'll go upstairs.
Okay. March into Netadion's room.
Yeah.
Her and
Hey.
Isaiah are sitting on the bed. There's the ring between them. The two spell books are out. Look over at you as you open up the door.
Right, I do think you've mentioned that before.
And
Almost
you
completely
should learn
forgot.
how to knock.
Huh?
I mean, you've never actually come into my room like that, definitely. Anyways,
I think
yes.
urgency takes precedent here.
Yes, never mind. I was just trying to mess with your mind a little bit, but yes, focus on this.
Durand is shaking off the thought of what he's just done.
Oh no.
Yes. Anyway. Yes. I believe you mentioned that as an idea. That probably sounds like a good idea. I was telling everyone about what we could put into the glyph, and that's probably one of the best things that we can think of that would hide us, so that even putting spells at all in the glyph might not even be an immediate necessity to debilitate the dragon.
That would probably be something that you can. The spell lasts quite a while, 8 hours. So if you just at least have the 8-hour window that you expect the dragon to appear, you could be in hiding for that time. I have put thought into the best application and use for a glyph of warding. It, I believe, should be something that has an immediate effect, or at least requires an immediate reaction. Something akin to, I believe you have mentioned, something like either a polymorph spell or something that would disorient and distract it, so that the second stage of your plan could go off.
Yeah, that
with less of a
sounds
hitch.
excellent.
Something that could basically be used as a trigger, something that tells the rest of you to go and spring into action. Something that would tell Nelerian to apply her spell, you to throw that contraption you had made. Something like that. I'm speaking mostly theoretically, as obviously I've never fought a dragon myself before, so all this is speculative at best.
Well, at the very least, everything sounds like it's coming together in some form of way. I would say, I mean, I usually don't like to talk about these things, but I mean, we have a good engage, but we have not much of a contingency in case things go wrong. That's probably what we haven't focused almost any energy into thinking about.
That should be, I suppose. Are you prepared and ready to face this dragon at full strength, unencumbered and uninhibited? That is the worst outcome, is it not? Assuming everything goes absolutely wrong, that's what you'll be left with. So if you go in ready to fight this dragon head on, no tricks, anything that goes well before that can only be a benefit.
I mean, we've held our own even after all of the combat in Vasselholm, so I suppose the answer would have to be yes.
Days after that fight, she did not seem too well. She was a bit redder than normal, even. Just, I didn't know how that was possible at all. It's kind of impressive, actually.
Yes, I'm sure that was a bit of a learning experience for her. But, she's been busy. And I'm pretty sure she's more prepared this time than then.
Air and Elevorn, the two of you are still downstairs after having heard the message from Neladion over the bracelet and Durand heading up. As Durand is upstairs having this conversation, there's a knock at the door. At the moment, it's late afternoon, early evening time, maybe around 5 o'clock or so. So, sun is just getting low in the sky.
I hop up, I'll get it, and go racing towards the door like a little kid.
Very good.
And then just throw open the door. Hello!
To open it, the door, there's a messenger there, dressed in the colors of the Empire, and holding a wrapped in wax-sealed scroll. Afternoon, Elevorn. I come carrying word from Duke Horacio Sterling. He wished this to be delivered to you directly. And he hands it to you.
Oh, do you want to come in for some tea, or I'll get the others?
I do appreciate the offer, but I must be returning to my duties now. I will be around in the town for a little while longer should there be need to send a message in return, though I was made aware that you have other means of communicating if need be.
I think we do. Yeah. I guess we should read this right away, though.
Did you read it yet?
Yes, yeah. Elevorn read it all.
in a second.
He is a
I like
speed reader.
scrunch my
by
nose
nature.
at her and wrinkle my face up and stick my tongue out. Like, and then run over and grab her hand and drag her upstairs with me. Or try to. I don't know if she'll go.
Alright.
I'll come willingly, but I'll also try to take a look at the scroll.
I don't think
It's
she has the
sealed.
strength to
Oh.
contest.
It's
Yeah.
mine.
It's
Wow.
So-
I don't think she has the strength to contest. I'd like to see it.
Nope, it's fine. She already said she'd go along willingly. So the scroll, it does seem to be written on nice parchment. It has the seal of essentially the Southern Provinces Council of Lords and the People, and it's tied up neatly with what seems to be a silk string. So, as the three of you are talking in Nedidion's room, and having entered and kind of partially closed the door behind him, without knocking, a few moments later, Elavorn, with Era trailing behind her, bursts open and through the door into your room, Neridion.
Just
No one has manners.
yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. It's like, uh,
I got something. And I'm holding the scroll out. And kind of like upward above my head almost.
and it is. I mean, it's a scroll, but what's in it?
Words, maybe.
Perhaps.
Hopefully.
Not a glyph of warding, that's for sure.
Oh, it might
Oh.
be.
Oh.
The unexpected betrayal.
Oh, I see. Isaiah, open it first, just in case.
No.
He's capable.
Dran should open it.
Oh,
I'll open it.
I agree.
I'll take it out.
You take it and open it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Elamon giving it?
After this exchange, during this exchange, and as Era saying Isaiah should open it, and Era saying all that stuff. So Delon, you take it and open it, and Era, you do notice that Isaiah, for a moment, had a bit of a sort of flash of this light blue arcane energy about his eyes. You recognize he had cast the detect magic spell, just kind of as a precaution, it seems. Didn't get to manage to do or say anything before Dillon took it, popped open the seal, and opened the scroll, though. Turns out it was not trapped.
Excellent.
Dillon, you read the contents of the message out loud. It is from Duke Horacio Sterling, who informs you that the treasure demanded of the dragon has been delivered to Alpont. He also goes on to inform you basically of the status of the evacuation of both the town and of the people that make their livelihoods outside of the town and the farmsteads and the lands that span that part of the southern provinces. Rescue efforts to find survivors have gone with moderate success. But unfortunately, the damage done by the dragon, not only in its last flight, but throughout its entire time here in the southern provinces, has led some to worry about the upcoming winter, as most of the farms in the area had just harvested their summer crop and had begun planting for the fall harvest, which would be what most of the southern provinces, including Vasselholm, would rely on to get through the cold months. And with one, the crops being raised by the dragon, and two, these farmers and their families being forced off of their land, being evacuated to avoid further death at the sort of wanton will of this dragon. It would take quite a massive effort to build up the food stores required to get the southern provinces through the next winter. And it's with that a very tentative request is put forth. The exact wording is, with the knowledge that Eden has performed the impossible for the southern provinces and the Empire before, when facing the threat of Korvath, it seems unfair to put a request such as this towards you again. So I will not. Instead, I will let you know the options. And let it be known, make it made clear, that the death of this dragon is priority. The only concern. However, the coin it has already taken, that we have put aside, that we had used to bribe it away time and time again. It's out there somewhere. Wherever this beast makes its lair. And that money could be well served in rebuilding the lives and the homes of those that have lost theirs. I want to stress, I am not asking you to undertake the impossible. I just felt it fair that you have all the information that I do. And then it's signed. Duke Horacio Sterling.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna need one of your hands to respond to this.
I'm
Era
not
or
gonna chop off
Isaiah.
my hand.
No. Not literally. Figuratively speaking. I need a mage.
Well, what is it that, well, you need? What even... I'm unsure.
I just
Is he
wanted
asking
to
you to or not?
I
Is he
just
saying
wanted
that-
to respond to this as quickly as possible. I suppose I could
Fine,
send
let's
it
get on
back.
with it. No.
What do you mean respond? Have you made a decision on what you will do?
Oh, well, I just wanted to respond to this letter, the Duke's letter. Everything from what he said in the letter, pretty much everything was moving as smoothly as it can. But he requests that if we can, to get back all of the coin and treasure that we've donated to this thing, which I would, of course, gladly, and I can think of at least one person in this room that might be able to sniff out that large sum of money, more than likely.
A dragon.
In this room.
And
Is-
not me.
Wait, is someone a dragon?
Summon a dragon.
No, is someone
Is someone
a
a
dragon?
dragon?
Looking around.
Just looking.
For as long as I've known, I'm just me. Half of I'm not a dragon.
I'm not talking about a dragon. Just someone that can find stuff easily.
I'm always losing things, so it's not me.
I'm always
Whatever.
spending
I know
things.
you know who you are. Okay. Um, but
Why are you being so mystic about it? Anyways, it's us. You can just say. You know,
I-
just
I am trying to. I'm trying. You're not the only one that can poke fun here, okay?
Oh yeah. Go on. Have fun.
I'm not poking fun at you.
No, I know, not at me. I'm just,
Ah,
you said you offered, you put it on the table, so I
Okay,
just
okay,
kind of
okay.
wanted to hear it.
Forget it. We can find it, one way or another. I just want to tell the Duke we received this letter, and then we will try everything that we can to recover what we've lost thus far, because taking down the dragon it has to be done. There's no other option. But if I can help it, we can recover the money it's taken, as long as it hasn't spent it anywhere, I suppose.
We could go around to shops in the southern provinces, see if there was a dragon stopped by any time recently, I suppose.
What about the thingy, the glyph thingy that we have? Is there any way to like magically track stuff? Or I don't
Well,
know.
it's
Like,
simple. If you put in an item that you're able to focus on, easily distinguish, recognize in with the rest of the treasure, you could use that as a sort of beacon for a location spell.
I mean, we would be fighting the dragon in its lair, but I mean that's kind of where you're supposed to do it anyway, right?
From my understanding, the opposite is true, actually.
yeah, I thought we were going to fight it like out in the open in the field or something.
I mean,
Trap it.
If you didn't,
Well, trap it, kill it, fight it, whatever. We're going to have to face it one way or another.
but if you don't fight it, it's only fair to assume that it's going to head directly back to its lair with the treasure and its spoils. So if finding its lair is, and where the rest of the treasures are, is your priority, that would be a way to do it. But
so we'd be
again,
taking on an additional danger, but it would
yes.
reliably lead us to where it has everything it's taken thus far. We can still execute our plan, even if it's not in the location that we had, from the plan that we have thus far. It'd be up to you guys if you wanted to take on that additional.
Well, I mean, if it's in the cave, maybe it can't like fly so much.
That's
But
also what I'm betting on. Hopefully, maybe.
Hopefully its lair isn't too big of a cave or wherever it wants to be, holding that lair.
Wherever, however, the layout of its lair, it's going to be at the advantage, certainly. It has to be. It will know all of the secrets. It will potentially have, I don't know, would dragons set up traps around their treasure? I would imagine, maybe, perhaps.
well, why would
I
this one? It thinks so
understand.
highly of itself, you know?
Right.
Yes,
It may not
maybe
feel like there's any competition, so it might not really be that guarded. Because it's like the biggest game in town.
It is true. Either way, it would be sacrificing whatever advantage fighting it in the open field, taking it by surprise would offer. On the other hand, I'm not exactly sure how one would begin to hunt for a dragon's lair were you to simply fight it in the field and then search for the horde afterward? Suppose it's where your priorities lie.
How many days do we have until we're supposed to do this?
I think it's like 2.
2 days, 3 days.
There is. Well, it's probably crazy, right? But say that we get it trapped in your awesome thingy that you had made, right, Ron? And then we could bargain with it, you know? We'll let you go if you tell us where the treasure is. I mean, we
That's-
don't keep our word, but
That's bold of you to assume that it would make a deal with us.
well, I mean, wouldn't it? Because, well, I mean, we could speed it up a little.
I mean, dragons are pretty intelligent creatures. I don't think bargaining with one, unless it's beneficial in its way. I also don't think it would be a bright idea to let it go at all. Not saying that we wouldn't lie about that, but I feel as if dragon most likely will see through something like that.
I mean,
But-
just based on its arrogance alone, it wouldn't hear me out in Vasselholm. At all.
Well, that was different. It thought it had advantage there. But if it is trapped and otherwise at a pretty severe disadvantage, maybe it would. But maybe it wouldn't, and then we wouldn't know where all the treasure is.
And we can't use the scry spell, was it, on it, right? It probably.
Well, we probably can, but
Well, I was trying to find a dragon scale or something. You know, because we did have a big tussle with it in the middle of Vasselholm.
Hmm. I don't know. Could we use some animals to, like birds or something, to follow it and have it so that the bird will come back to us when it's, found the lair, or when it's found the dragon and its lair. I don't know.
we could stop it preemptively before it fully reaches the whole way there. Yeah.
Lure it outside.
Well, maybe not lure it outside, but maybe just execute the plan a little bit further away from our originally planned location, but not entirely all the way there. So we have some general idea. I think.
The hex plus ball plan can pretty much happen anywhere, right?
Yeah. Oh, I think.
Well, we weren't having me dig a giant hole for it or anything, right? So that doesn't matter. We didn't alter the terrain at all. You know, have set up some kind of physical something in the area. So we already weren't planning on using any of that, right? So fighting it wherever. I mean, sure, its lair might be trapped. That's a good point. And we can check for traps, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to do about traps. No, not really.
I do, usually. Thankfully.
Isaiah speaks up. So we've been speaking as if there are two options. One to either trap, fight, and slay it in the field outside of Alpont, or the one to simply let it go and follow it back to its lair. What if there's a middle ground? Where you fight it, potentially wound it, hopefully, and it manages to escape. Can't imagine it would go anywhere else but a place to rest and recover. Safest place for it would still probably be its lair. Might be easier to track and follow in that case, and wouldn't be nearly as dangerous as fighting a full-strength dragon in its lair as a wounded one. It's all assuming that fighting this creature is easy enough as is, which I know for a fact is not.
The first time that we fought it, did we really do much to it? I know we were at a disadvantage, but it did end up leaving. It's a risky plan, but I don't think it's a bad one.
We've done that once. I don't see why we can't do it again. That's probably a good plan.
Yeah.
It also would allow for all this time and effort we spent planning these traps to not go to waste. We could
So,
still slip something in with the treasure, something that one can use a locate object spell on. You can still set up contingencies, perhaps have a plan to follow the creature once it's weakened enough and has decided to flee. And of course, this is all given that you weaken it enough in the first place, such that it flees. So, I know you've faced it before, but still concerning, at least for me.
And with locate object, you do still have to be within a certain range. It's still more than different. I think it's like 1,000, but we would have to tail it pretty
Yes,
close.
and probably do so without its knowing, as I'm not sure if it would willingly lead you back to its home. So that's the gambit there, I suppose. Let it escape without letting it know you let it escape. And then follow it without having it known it's being followed.
Well, I have feigned death.
oh, I did read that spell on the book.
Put up a convincing enough fight that it believes you are attempting to kill it without killing it and without getting yourselves killed in the process. That the thought of having a plan that involves holding back against a dragon doesn't seem smart on the surface, if I'm being honest.
Well, I think most of the damage might have been from the Ron landing on it as a brontosaurus, when it was way up in the sky.
So, we should do that again?
Fool me once.
I don't think in the sky would be the best
No.
or
it
ideal
wouldn't
thing.
be.
I will say casting fireball won't happen again, at least on that. But And I mean, most likely the dragon will be more focused on the gold than really destroying anything, right? If a dragon values treasure, then if it gets what it needs, wouldn't it want to head back? Whether we, that's, obviously deciding whether we decide to go all out or
And
not
yes,
at the beginning.
certainly, if it gathers the treasure and you don't make yourselves known, it would probably head back there. But then you're dealing with a full-strength dragon within its lair.
Hmm.
It's just, I suppose, something worth contemplating, thinking on. Seems you have 3 options, each with their pros and cons,
Well, there might be a fourth option.
which is
We just put the thing in there, let him take it, find out where the lair is, and then arrange a dragon festival to honor our new lord and master with a big festival and feast for him in some other location with more treasure and stuff. And then we lure it there, fight it there, having let it go this time. And that way we learn, but follow it, not to fight it in its lair, but then draw it out again for more treasure. Which will just make this take forever, and it's probably not a good idea.
Hmm. We will probably run out of treasures too.
this was basically scrapped together. Like, line up everybody, give us your pocket change so this dragon doesn't kill us type stuff going on.
But I'm not opposed to the idea that we fight it now and let it go, kinda, so it's weakened, and then we follow it back to its lair and fight it there or nearby or something. But
That sounds like a good plan to me as well.
You guys can give it a bit of thought over the break, and we'll make the decision when we come back. And perhaps even fight this dragon tonight. Maybe, we'll see.
maybe.
Alright, see you guys in a bit.
I'm gonna go lie down.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
what is the effect on?
Yeah, what spell is the glyph of warding?
I kind of like those. I don't know if we would use slow. I actually have slow, by the way. I didn't realize it right away, but I have slow. um,
Yeah, I
um,
kind of know the spell. A little familiar.
checks the
I
pages later.
have
may- I may-
Yes.
I may know a
plan.
thing or two.
Okay, so what is the glyph of warding? What kind of things can you set? Is it just like a proximity? Like, what are the triggering effects? Like, what can you say?
Let me.
Don't. Let me see. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm getting involved in killing my own bad guy.
No, I'm sorry. I can take a look. Hold on.
You
Enhance
decide
creatures
what
upon the
triggers the glyph
surface.
when you cast the spell.
What? What was? Then an object that can be closed, such as a book scroll or treasure chest. You conceal the glyph.
It just says.
It's 10 feet in diameter.
You can further
Oh.
refine the triggers so the spell activates only under certain circumstances. So you can basically make it as specific as you want to make it, right? I don't know. I don't know if I should tell you guys this because this is my creative brain going, and I don't want to. One, I don't want to say it, and then you guys feel like you can't do it because I said it.
No, then don't say it. It's okay. Let us struggle.
But I want to because it's
Speak for
fun.
yourself. What the fuck? I want to hear the man.
But he's
It's a
to kill his
combination.
own dragon.
The combination of Era and Durand.
Okay.
Alright, Duran, speak up
It's
because I don't
glyph
know what's
of
your
warding
combination.
with a paladin spell in it.
Oh shit.
Oh.
What the hell spell do you have? I have what the? Which one? Hold on.
Alright, hear me out.
What do I have?
You know what,
I'm like,
Durand?
I looked through this.
You know what, Durand? If you want me to say it, roll an intelligence check.
Okay. Because I have none.
I hope you roll a one.
Let me
What'd you roll?
see what I add to it. Okay, hold on. 17.
Whatever.
So, like the glyph of warding, you can have it be as specific as you want it to be, right? The triggering effect. So it can be like, activate the glyph once, the dragon puts this down, or once, I don't know if you could say once it gets back to its lair. That might be tricky because how would the glyph know when its lair?
We have
where
an explosion
lair.
happen with the glyph, and then we'll find its location. Easy peasy. Sorry.
Could also be something like activate this spell once the dragon falls asleep or something, right?
Oh.
And if that were the case, you could put a conjure greater steed into the glyph, have Gildy be summoned at the point in the lair once the dragon falls asleep. Rather, that would probably have to be a glyph of warding, put it into the ring, and then given to Durand for it to be Gildy specifically.
That still works. This is level 4.
Mm-hmm. And so that's one way that you could find the lair, I suppose.
So Gilly would fly to Durand and
It
then
can
show us the way.
Basically.
Yeah.
Not sure if that's the least complicated way to do it, because there's always the chance that, Gildy wakes up the dragon and then everything's fucked from there.
It's just mad.
I don't know if there's like a spell that could be activated that like tells you where it is, right? Like you could put a sending spell in it, but it's not going to tell you where it is, right? As the glyph of warding. I'm not sure if there's like a spell that pings you with its location, That's what I was kind of thinking of at first.
At least nothing that I have. Like I have locate object, but that's like 1,000 feet from.
Yeah, you'd have to trail it to some extent. You could put a Gios in it. Glyph avoiding Gios.
Nah.
Or it triggers as it slowly gets into the cavern.
Mhm.
Its lair. I'm hoping it's a its lair, and then it just you slow it down, and it's like, why can't I go into my lair?
It's
There you
just
go.
And then we attack it right outside before it can get to its stronghold.
Something's weird. Someone bugged my lair. I'm not going back in.
It's glitchy.
My lair's glitchy. I'm gonna hang out outside for a while I'm gonna call an exterminator. Something weird's going on.
It doesn't have a lair, actually. It's just a giant nest on top of a mountain or something.
It just stays at the local inn.
Yeah.
I mean, depending
Or-
on the kind of dragon that it is, it could do that. Because maybe
It
it's like
could.
humanoid sometimes.
Who
Maybe it
knows?
just has a house. That would be weird.
Oh my god, yeah, its
That
lair
grandma.
is a house.
Hey, have you guys been reading my notes?
Maybe.
I'm onto you.
I told you I see everything. I see everything in there. Even your
Wait, what?
notes.
Hold on.
My
Its
clan?
lair is a little gapping somewhere near the mountains, and it has a giant basement or something where it puts all the hoard and just pretends to be an old woman living alone.
That matches the personality of this dragon, definitely.
Speaking of Geetus, we could just use that maybe, but it may choose just to nope it.
To
Mm.
what? I'm not really seeing. Technically, it's 7th level though. Teleport.
It gets there and then it teleports to.
No, it gets there. Teleport an object, so it can get there, and like the glyph could be once this is placed in the horde, activate the teleport, and it just teleports the entire horde somewhere else.
Damn. Jagger is
Doesn't
gonna be like,
really
what
tell you where
the fuck?
to be. Yeah, right. Just he puts down the chest and it's just whoop, all of the gold and stuff is gone. Probably
It's
wouldn't
gonna be
keep around.
so pissed. It was gone
Doesn't
for
really
us.
say where the bear or the dragon is, but you'd probably find it pretty quickly because it would be very angry.
It would come for us.
Yeah. Or you
Well,
know,
I'll ponder
innocent people of
something, but it,
provinces.
yeah.
Oh, let me see this. What is this spell? That's funny. Alright. So there's a spell, right? For the
Uh-huh.
glyph of warding that
Mhm.
activates once it gets back to its lair. It's a 5th level spell, so technically you might be able to get it eventually. I think you could use it. It's called Animate Objects.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
fun.
have it, but yeah.
So his treasure literally runs away.
Another
All
one.
the coins get up and start just
Like Beauty
walking
and the
away.
Beast style. They grow like little legs and just where they roll
They-
away.
Another what the fuck is going on moment for the dragon.
We need to do this.
With something. Maybe not with the dragon if we can't get the spell, but
How come it doesn't specify whether or not they grow legs or not? You would think that they should grow legs, right?
I mean, I guess you could, I guess it's just flavor type, so you could say that they grow legs and walk out. Or
Oh yeah.
if you
If
just
you have
want.
relaxed legs or other appendages, it can use for locomotion, and it says it has a flying speed if it doesn't have legs.
Aw.
But that would be. I like the idea that like the little coins pop out legs and arms and stuff. So that's probably how it would work. Because I like that better.
Yeah. I mean, you're the DM. You can change it.
Yeah.
I just go marching out.
The coins go marching one by one. Me. I'm really. I don't see anything that. Alternatively, you trap a small bird in the treasure chest, right? That the dragon's taken back. And you glyph of warding an animal messenger into it. Or you just do what you guys were doing, fight it, and follow it back. I don't know. I'm overcomplicating things, it seems. Anyways, when can we get together next? Saturday or Wednesday? Is this Saturday good for you guys? If we, call it now. Was that a yes?
Saturday is fine for me, and around the same time or in the afternoon at least.
Saturday good?
Well, I work, so it has to be
Same time. Normal time. What? We don't have to play Saturday if you don't want to.
I'll just play safe, baby, and do Wednesday.
I don't want to keep you guys around here if you guys are sick. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It might be.
Two of you feel better.
Yeah, we'll
Thanks for
see,
showing
like,
up.
tomorrow, the day before.
What?
We'll see how we feel tomorrow or the day beforehand, and then I'll let you guys know.
Today's the day before.
Today's the
We know how
day
you're feeling
before
the day before
Saturday?
tomorrow.
Oh, you didn't see. Okay, no.
I said tomorrow
weird.
or the day before Saturday. I guess I should have the day
Oh.
after.
Friday isn't good for me.
Friday, no good. Well, no, that's fine. We were thinking about Saturday, but I'm not sure how we'll feel by
If you guys
then.
are feeling well by then and feeling up to it, just let us know. I'll be down. I'm ready.
I wanted to be ready.
Appreciate you showing up. Even though you guys are dying. So, drink lots of orange juice.
What? I don't have any. I want
Vitamin
orange
C.
juice.
Healthy for you. I want orange juice too. It's okay. I can't drink it either.
Sad.
What the hell? Why not?
Same.
Explain.
A diet.
Diet.
There's
Diet.
diet orange juice.
Yeah, there's diet,
Diet
orange
orange juice?
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
There's no sugar-free juice, is there?
There's Trop
Coffee
50.
Is that it?
Yeah, Trop
Like
50.
I found Mio stuff that lets me still be able to have like apple juice, which is good. So basically, I'm not consuming sugar.
You're not having carbs at all? Keto?
Keto. It's not 0 carbs. It's 20 a day at most. Is what I'm doing. Been doing it for how long has it been, Nimue? Like 3 months? 2-3 months? Longer?
Remy did that. It did really good for him.
Yeah, I'm too big.
Same.
Same.
Alright, I will let you guys know.
Alright, good night.
Or she will let you guys know.
I'm gonna fucking knock out. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Good night.
Feel better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.